ECU? Do you bleed purple and gold? Are you ready to hoist the colors?
Hoist the colors!
It's time for the most in-depth look into the world of ECU athletics. Welcome to Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game. Watch the show live on Facebook and at 943thegame.com. Here's Stephen Igo.
Welcome in, Hoist the Colors. It is a Friday edition of the program, heading to a big weekend of sports. ECU baseball in action on the road at Memphis, a key series. We'll get into that. Can the Pirates find a way to win a series on the road? I think it's been over a year now. I meant to check that before the show, but we'll do that here in a few minutes. We'll break that down. We'll also get into life after Sean Jenkins, potentially for the Pirates. I would doubt he's available this weekend, so I haven't heard a word on how long he'll be out. I have heard a couple things. I'll share my thoughts there. Could Grady Linehan be back this weekend as well? We'll discuss those things. Big weekend for the Pirates on the road for ECU baseball. We'll also get into some NBA. We're going to welcome intern Isaiah on the program, second half of the show. Tough night for my Nuggets and tough night for Phillips Celtics, so we'll get into that as well. All right, in studio today, we've got the return of Peyton Brady. She's back. Hoist the Colors intern. Yeah, we were trying to figure out the last time you were on the show, and I think it was fall semester.
I think it had to have been fall.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So good to have you back. So we've had a lot of discussion on ECU baseball this season. And for those who may not be familiar with you, if they've just started watching the show recently, they won't know that you're a Hoist the Colors intern. So first off, you're very busy with your life at ECU, with your sorority. You're about to go overseas. I want to talk about that because it's cool. But you've covered a number of ECU baseball games this year. It's been weird season, kind of like last year. So what's been your big takeaway from the season thus far?
I think the hardest part of this season is, I think, the obvious consistency that there hasn't really been that. There was a lot of talk at the beginning of the season, like, it's going to take a few weeks to find that groove, and I think there's still a little bit of struggle in finding that groove. I don't know if we have a straight outline, what we expected, that Ethan Norby was going to be the Friday night guy, no doubt. Well, that's not the case anymore, and so still just trying to play and fit in those puzzle pieces with the postseason quickly approaching is something that, I think has been the main talking point this year. Battling injuries, trying to figure out the bullpen and pitching orders, and all of that has just been kind of a continuous struggle, and how the Pirates are supposed to figure that out. And the next two series that are left in the regular season. So that's been, my biggest takeaway, that there just has been a lack of consistency and a lack of trying to figure out what's going to go where. And even the pitching order or the batting order changing so late in the season was something that a lot of people were surprised with. So, obviously there's a lot of things that from this point of view we don't see, but I think Pirate fans are really wanting just a cut and dry, what we can expect week after week, and we haven't received that this year.
Yeah, it's just, it's one of those things. They're kind of running out of time to find that consistency. So maybe it's just, can they get hot at the right time again? And, we say all this, they're still in at-large position to make the NCAA tournament. And so I think if they have a good weekend in Memphis, they're that much closer to doing that. But it's been another weird year. So we did see James catch the wrath of Cliff Godwin post-game. I'll be honest, I suggested that you ask about, what was it, Norby? He wasn't listed as a starter. And I was like, all right, somebody's got to ask this, Peyton. I'm sorry, I'm not there.
It's okay.
I'm going to allow you to ask it. And,
at least he said sorry.
Yeah. So you got it. You got the question in. And this was, would this have been Wichita State series maybe? I don't remember exactly what series.
It was the Saturday the Friday night of Wichita State, and Saturday hadn't been publicly released yet.
There you go.
But so we didn't released to the team, so we didn't even know. And
so that's why I told you to ask, because the fans were asking us, is Norby going to start? Is Norby going to start? So you stepped up and asked the question that, I'll be honest, the rest of the media was probably too scared to ask. So at least you did your job there. You earned your stripes.
Tried my best.
Yeah. So
we got an answer.
Yeah, we got an answer. And he came out, started the next day, did well. So look, ECU on the road this weekend at Memphis, and we'll kind of discuss this series. I've got a written preview up on Hoist the Colors. You guys can check that out. And Memphis they're kind of a weird team. Their record is not impressive, 16-27. They're 8-10 in the league. But if you look a little deeper, like against good competition, they've been respectable. They're 8-13 against Quad 1 and Quad 2 opponents. But they're only 8-14 against Quad 3 and Quad 4 opponents. So like they kind of play up and down in their competition. They do just have 2 weekend series wins over Toledo and Rice. They've lost a lot of series, but for me, Peyton, ECU has been good at home this year, underwhelming on the road. I think they've got to find a way. In a series, they're probably better than the opponent. At least go play some good baseball on the road.
Definitely. I mean, I think it's a fact that, playing in Clark LeClaire is a great place to be and a hard place for people to travel. So I wonder if it's a hard place for opposing teams to play in, or if it is a confidence booster for the Pirates. I think there's 2 ways to look at it. But, either way, coming off, I think, midweek has a lot to do with it too, that coming off of the midweek loss from Tuesday against State, that might be tough, and there might be a little bit of lack of confidence in some people, and playing away with that lack of confidence definitely is not very helpful. So,
and I would expect a lot of fans at Memphis. I don't think there are a ton of Memphis baseball fans. So the Pirates may have to bring their own juice. Philip, what about you? I think ECU 6-9 on the road, maybe 6-9-1, counting the 6-9-1 true road record. Not great. So it'd be nice to get at least 500, maybe over by the end of the season with 6 road games left.
Yeah, it would be. And so Isaiah did look it up. It was April the 17th through the 19th of last year at UAB was the last road series win for East Carolina. So
it's been a while.
It would be big. And look, the way last Friday night went, it went how you would expect, how we expected when Ryan Towers committed to the program for it to go. We know what Ethan Norby can be. This is the week, right? If it's going to happen, it's got to happen here. You've got 2 true weekend starters going Friday and Saturday. You're playing against a team that lets up runs. You can get out of this thing quickly. You can get out of Saturday having only played 14 innings of baseball if you play well. Yes, we might not have Sean Jenkins. Yes, we don't know who the Sunday starter is yet. But if you can go 14 innings of baseball and only 2 maybe total innings of bullpen guys, going into Sunday, you're playing with house money at that point. So this is the opportunity right here. If you don't lock in and do it this weekend, you're just not very good on the road.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, you want to be a championship team, ECU in the championship race. We'll get more into that next segment. But if you can't win on the road, you're not a championship team. So this is a I'm not going to say a statement weekend for ECU, but this is a weekend where you got to go out and prove something. Hey, let's go out and beat a team that we should beat on the road. And they're playing for their conference tournament lives as well. The bottom 2 teams in the league don't make the tournament. So if ECU goes in there and wins the series or sweeps them, that hurts Memphis as well. A closer look at the Tigers. So offensively, the main thing to know is they actually do have some potent weapons in terms of they can hit the ball at the ballpark. They've homered 50 times this season. That's more than ECU has. Last check, I haven't seen the numbers recently, but I believe that's more than ECU. They also steal a ton of bases, 100 stolen bases and 115 attempts. Michael Gupton, who's a former NC State transfer, 5'8" center fielder, has done some real damage this year. Team high 12 home runs. They also have Coastal Carolina transfer Freddie Rodriguez, who has stolen 34 bases and 39 attempts. He's hitting .285 with 29 walks against 33 strikeouts. Also James Smith and Brady Maccabee, 2 other names to know in the lineup. On the pitching side, they're not great. It's a weird staff because they actually have some experienced arms and guys who have been at Memphis, which usually stability, consistency kind of leads to decent results these days in college sports because of the portal. But these guys returning, they've been hit. Will Howells, their Friday night guy, he does go deep into games, but he's 4-5 with a 6.58 ERA. Opponents are hitting .288 against him. Their left-hander, David Case, is their Saturday guy. He's scheduled to go in Game 2. He's allowed 63 hits in 56 innings. He's 4-6 with a 5.88 ERA. So you know these guys are going to throw strikes. You're probably going to hit them. You're probably going to score some runs, but they do go deep into games. But they have given up a conference worst 298 batting average against and a league worst 7.60 ERA. So I don't know, Peyton. I'm expecting some offense this weekend, really by both teams, because given ECU's pitching staff, we'll get into more next segment, but they can hit a little bit, but it sounds like pitching, they're not the best. So expect some longer games.
Yeah, I would hope that it's a bit of an offensive game this week. I think, great for I think one thing that may be very different this weekend is that the Memphis pitchers will be in the game for a lot longer than ECU. And, when ECU struggles, I think there's a really quick call to the bullpen every time. So that may be something different, but hopefully ECU can find someone that works and keep that going, and it becomes a defensive game as well.
All right, ECU, it'll be a 7:05 first pitch, technically, tonight. 5:05 first pitch on Saturday, and then a 2:05. These are all Eastern times, first pitch on Sunday. Central time will be 6 o'clock. So you can hear the action, 94.3 The Game, as well as through the IBX Media app. Does anybody know the last time Memphis beat ECU in baseball?
I do not know, but I was looking up when you were talking about how bad their pitching is.
Yeah.
5 times this year, their football team let up less than 25 points. Their baseball team let Eastern Illinois score 25 runs. If we don't score some runs this weekend, something's got to change. But no, I have no idea the last time Memphis beat ECU in baseball.
So ECU, they have not, lost a regular season game to Memphis, I think, since 2019, maybe even 2018. But in Clearwater, May 25th, 2021. That was the last time Memphis beat ECU in baseball. The Pirates did bounce back and eliminate them a few games later. And this series historically has been dominated by Memphis. ECU, 52-19 all time. ECU has swept in 2025, 2024, 2023, 2022, and during the regular season 21. So 5 straight regular season series.
Including a 4-game regular season series there in 2021.
Yep.
Did not play them in 2020 due to the Rona.
Yep. So ECU has dominated the series. My question to you guys is, will the Pirates do it again? Can they sweep the series? Will they win the series? We'll go around the horn. We'll start with Peyton. Peyton, what do you think? I
feel pretty strongly that they can win the series. I think that it will be a 2-1 series win.
I mean, that's a safe bet. Phillip?
Yeah, I'm going 2-1. They want me to pick them to go 3-0 on the road. They got to win a damn road series first, 2-1.
I think ECU wins the series. I think the state of the pitching staff makes it tough to sweep. It just means your offense has got to bring it all 3 games.
I agree. I think one possibility in considering a sweep would be with Grady coming back.
Yeah.
I think that would be a huge factor, not only into winning the series, but the possibility of sweeping on the road. We saw the last time he came back from an injury. Obviously, this injury is a little bit different, but the last time he came back from an injury, that was pretty awesome. So
yeah. Grady Linehan, Cliff Godwin said he was having a follow-up exam Thursday, and then he was set to fly with the staff for Friday. So we'll see if he's in the lineup tonight. Even if he's not in tonight, maybe Saturday or Sunday. But yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about, Peyton, is like the psychology of taking a pitch off the face. How do you kind of shake that off? Because he's probably going to have to come back in a mask. And
I don't know.
That was a scary situation.
It was very scary. It was pretty gruesome.
Hey, JC bounced back and he took the pitch somewhere else that you don't want to get hit worse in the face.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that. It was bad. But yeah, so if Jacob Jenkins-Cowart can bounce from that, I feel like Grady Linehan's a pretty tough dude. He came back from that shoulder, like you said, and seemed unfazed. So I'm sure he'll have some sort of protective mask, some sort of, face mask, crossbars, whatever you want to call it. But hopefully he's back out there soon. Pirates need him. They could also need him maybe to help out in the mound too, because the arms are running thin. All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll talk about that. Sean Jenkins, I would not expect to see him this weekend. He left the NC State game with an injury. I'll at least give some brief thoughts on what I've heard. We'll go from there on kind of how the Pirates can navigate without Jenkins. More on that after this.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arrgh!
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted source.
Every ECU fan's one stop for all things ECU athletics. This is Hoist the Colors with Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back. Segment 2, Hoist the Colors here on a Friday, going to the weekend. Usually Bobby Horror joins us on Friday. He joined us yesterday, and you can check out that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We dove into future football ECU schedules, what opponents we'd like to see, so make sure to check that out. That was a fun show. We've got Peyton Brady, Hoist the Colors intern in the studio today. She's going to be off overseas. We'll talk about that before she gets out of here. And then intern Isaiah going to join us segment 3 as well. All right, some comments before we get into some discussion. Johnny Stats says Memphis is 3-12 in home weekend series games since week 1. In their last 14 wins, they have only committed a combined 4 errors. In conference games, the Tigers are 45 of 53 in stolen base attempts, while ECU is 9 of 17. So big difference there. He does add that the one good pitcher they have is closer Carson Fair with a 0.84 ERA and 6 saves in his last 10 appearances. So if you're ECU, don't want to be in a close game with him having the chance to save it. All right, let's talk about Sean Jenkins. Obviously, if he's out, going to be a big blow. I think it'll be extremely tough to overcome if he's out for the long haul. The initial word I got was they feel like they got him out of the game before something serious happened. But at the same time, he's been dealing with arm soreness, discomfort a while, so that's a concern. I imagine he'll get some testing done. And anytime it goes that route, you just never know how it's going to play out. So I would expect him to be unavailable this weekend and maybe for a couple weeks at minimum. He's been your best reliever. He's thrown 41 in the third innings, which ranks third on the team. He leads the team with 6 saves. And, look, you lose him. You've lost Gavin Van Kempen. You've lost Colby Weber. Nick Moran's not healthy. He's giving you what he can right now. It's just a tough situation on the mound, Peyton, and I feel like, we can break down some of the pitching options, but for me, it kind of goes back to the offense. Like, the offense is just going to have to be incredible to keep Freese to overcome those, right?
Mm-hmm. And we mentioned this in the first quarter that those starting guys just have to stay in as long as possible and hold off the reliever as long as possible. Just like what Memphis does. They keep
just kind of eat it even if they're struggling a bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just have faith in the starting guys, specifically Ryan Towers and Ethan Norby, and we know what they can do. Have faith in them. If they get in a little dip in the numbers, then they're Division I baseball players. I think they should hopefully be able to pull themselves out of that, and I think just put off the relief as much as possible.
Phillip, we obviously the offense has got to step up, but like what other pitchers could step up as a result of this? Are there any other? Or like I say this every week. I always find myself looking down this list of pitchers, and every week I'm crossing another guy off because they're freaking injured, and we're getting less and less options here. So, are there any pitchers that could step up here?
Your Friday and Saturday starters, they've got to give you 6 innings paired with the hitting of you've got to play 7 innings each of the next 2 days. If you can get out of this series in 21 innings, you're not worried about it. Give me 6 from Towers, 1 inning of mop-up duty from insert guy here. Same thing tomorrow with Norby, and then you can piece together Sunday. And even if you have to go full 9 Sunday, if you cannot use Joseph Webb any of these first 2 games, not use Luke Payne, you're in an okay spot, right? Maybe you run Payne out there as a starter Sunday. He goes one time through the order. You ride Webb as long as you can, and maybe you're up 5-6 runs, and then you're just kind of piecing this thing together with Colby, with Boucher, with maybe Moran if he can throw. I don't know. Also, is Antolik hurt?
Yeah, he's still out. He had the hip issue. He was supposed to get a shot in mid-April. He was still in his unavailable pregame jersey the other day. So
all right,
I don't know.
I guess.
What about your boy Saccone, man? At some point, I know he struggled, but he's healthy.
He's healthy, and he pitches better when he starts. So let him start on Sunday. Even if he starts as an opener, gives you 1 inning.
Yeah.
Payne comes out there and throws, again, 3 innings. So now you're 4 innings into the game. You get 4 out of Webb. I don't know, man.
At least we did see Thomas Paxton come back, and he got a strikeout against NC State. First appearance since the North Carolina series, which feels like 5 years ago.
Yeah, and then and this is not even mentioning Ethan Rose, who I know hasn't been great lately, but if you're piecing him together, helping him piece the back end of a Sunday game together, and you're already up 5 or 6 runs, I trust Rosie at least go out there and throw some strikes, and maybe they hit it, maybe they don't, but
Charlie Hoagland looked better against State after the Jenkins injury, so look, it's not great, but there are at least options.
It's better than it used to be, man. Yeah. These guys are
considering
we're talking
the
about the 10th. Our 10th guy is a hell of a lot better than our 8th guy used to be in past years.
Yeah, I'm looking at Memphis, and their top 3 guys have a lot of the numbers ECU's bottom guys have. So it stinks, but you got to figure out a way to make it work. I'm looking at Thomas Paxton. I'm looking at Charlie Hoagland, Frank Saccone, and Colby Wallace, who, 2-way interesting situation. But, 2 of those guys are going to have to give you something to make up for this in the meantime, along with the offense. Spencer Scott says we need Sean Jenkins for the postseason. Let's hope they can figure out what's causing his arm soreness and get him right over these next couple weeks. I agree. Without Jenkins in the postseason, it's going to be next to impossible to make a run. That's just my honest opinion on it. All right, let's look at the standings. Big weekend. 3 regular season weekend series left, 2 weeks after this weekend. UTSA, ECU, UAB all tied at the top. ECU has already played both teams. ECU has the tiebreaker over UAB. UTSA has the tiebreaker over ECU. Final weekend of the regular season, UAB and UTSA play each other, so that's a positive. Now, this weekend, UTSA is hosting Wichita State. Wichita State, I think, has not been swept all season. And I believe that is correct. Yep, because obviously they put it on ECU, the final game. So UTSA hasn't swept anybody all season. I would expect them to at least win that series, but a sweep seems unlikely. UAB goes to Rice. Rice is a weird team. They've been up and down. So I think if you at least win the series this weekend, Peyton, you're keeping pace with those teams. But we talked about it earlier. If you find a way to sweep, it makes such a big difference in the standings. You could be in sole possession of first place.
Definitely, I think, like you said, in that comparison, I do think if there's any way that ECU could sweep this weekend, then that would definitely make a huge difference. And I think it all goes back to pitching and it all goes back to the bullpen. And if those guys can stay out there, like Philip said, for 6 innings and then kind of put the pieces together from there. So
ECU, again, finishes with, obviously, this weekend at Memphis, Rice at home at FAU, UTSA, Wichita State at Memphis, then UAB at home, and UAB finishes at Rice, Charlotte, and at UTSA. So I still feel like ECU's in a good spot here despite the injuries, Philip. Just got to take care of business is the biggest thing.
You do. Next man up. And unfortunately right now it's kind of the next man to the next man in some positions. Obviously we've hit on the pitching side of things. We've hit on the Grady Linehan side of things, but you still have a crap ton of injuries everywhere else. But look, man, everything you want is still in front of you. James said it on Wednesday. The goals that you set for yourself are still in front of you. Yes, you're facing a lot of adversity, but at the end of the day, nobody's feeling sorry in this conference for East Carolina. I can tell you that. And they know that, and Cliff Godwin knows that. And, look, the schedule's really not that tough down the stretch. So find a way to go out there and be great. And, if you can go 7-2, maybe 8-1, feeling pretty good going in the conference tournament.
All right, so we always do our picks to click. I didn't tell you about this, Peyton, so I'm going to put you on the spot. Pick an individual player you think is going to have a big weekend. You can go pitcher or position player. Philip and I will go first. I'll give you some time to think about it.
Thank
All right. Philip, pick to click. Are you going to go back to Austin Irby? Or
Nah, hey,
he did hit that home run after you picked him.
He did. Last week, Tuesday through Sunday, he hit .333. He was 8 for 24. It's not bad. I can live with that.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go with I'm just gonna ride the hot hand. Give me Jeff Sabater. Even if Linehan's back, I think that he's at least in the lineup at a DH role. He's a single machine. He even joked about maybe hitting one out. I don't think he hits one out like was it Wags or somebody like that predicted this, or whoever was on the show Tuesday. Oh, it was Kaysen. It was Kaysen. Said,
Kaysen.
I'm not picking him to
I love Kaysen.
hit one out, but I'm going to go. He's got 2 extra base hits on the weekend paired with a couple of singles.
All right. I like that. I went with Grady Linehan as my bold prediction on the podcast, Bucks on the Pond. I said he would return from injury and hit a home run this weekend, so I'm going to stick with that. I don't know what role he'll play. I'm just going to say that he returns from the broken nose and homers. So I'm going to go Grady Linehan.
Okay, well, you stole mine.
Oh, my bad. You can double down. Hey, if he's your pick to click, go with it.
Well, I'm just thinking about, just going back to the last time, when he came off of his shoulder injury that, what was it, 1 home run, 2 home run? I just remember he had a huge game, and the whole stadium was just really fired up, and the energy that night was something that I felt like we hadn't really had all season, and I think he was a key component to that. Yes, they're on the road this weekend, but I think I could see him being another key component to ECU's energy and, just coming back and being a strong aspect for their offensive lineup. And, whether there are a lot of Pirate fans there this weekend or not, that hopefully his energy will get the dugout going and make it a little bit of a home atmosphere.
It feels like they need an uplift right now. With the injury to Jenkins, all these arms going down, and Linehan, some good vibes. I think that would help.
The tough thing I think with this conference, man, is sometimes when you need stuff like this, in other leagues, it's cool. You go on the road and you silence a ruckus crowd. Could you imagine going to Oxford, Mississippi, and they're cussing at you? They've got their beer showers and you just shut them up. But who are you shutting up? The first baseman's dad?
Yeah, exactly.
What are we
there's
doing?
No actual fans. It's parents. I think there may be just as many ECU fans there as Memphis. Now, maybe they'll prove me wrong, but Memphis known more for its basketball and obviously football in recent years. So. All right, Peyton, we got to get you out of here shortly, but before we do, you're going on a cool trip that I'm jealous of, but studying abroad.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that and what's in store for you.
Well, I am pursuing my minor in Hispanic Studies at ECU, and I will be traveling to Madrid in 5 days. And while I'm there, I will be taking my final 6 credit hours of my minor and will return to the United States with a minor in Spanish. While we're there, we're taking a few day trips to Toledo and one of the other historic cities around Madrid, as well as taking a cooking class and going to see a flamenco show. And I think some of the girls in my group and I are going to travel to Lake Como for a weekend. I haven't told you about that yet.
Oh, yeah.
But
That'll be fun.
I think we're going to travel to Lake Como. It'll be my birthday weekend. So gonna be
Birthday in
something fun.
Madrid?
I know.
I mean, you're
very
living the life.
I'm so excited, but didn't think I was going to have the chance to study abroad, but I'm really glad that it's going to work out, and I'm so excited about it. I still can't really believe it's happening. It hasn't really set in yet, but.
Are you you probably don't want to think about sports while you're over there, but I feel like you got to try to go to a Real Madrid game.
So I looked into a game, and the tickets are a little above my price range.
Okay.
There are 2 games in Madrid. Real Madrid plays 2 games while we're there, and I would love to go, but
Pretty pricey. Yeah.
Pretty pricey.
Is Atletico Madrid? I mean, they're still one of the top teams in La Liga. Have you looked into them? Are they at home? I mean, from what I understand, their atmosphere.
I have
is
a
good
little bit. There honestly aren't a lot of options while we're there. But I've looked into some of, I guess, the more minor teams, and I mean, the tickets are still.
It's a big deal over there.
It is. It's a big deal over there. So, and being, this late, some of the games are in a week and a half. So
maybe you can just find a way, get in the parking lot, do some scalping.
I've
for
looked
tickets,
on the Facebook groups
Okay.
and seen if there's any way that someone's selling a ticket or something like that. And two, those stadiums are so big that I would love to have a seat a little bit closer, but they're truly huge. So there are some tickets that they look like little ants on the field.
Tough thing I'm looking here. They've only got 2 home games left. So, the season ends in May, so it's down the stretch. And they're a few points behind Barcelona, but they have to go to Barcelona before that. If they win in Barcelona, it puts them right back in the race. So I think the reason they're so expensive
So
is
now
these
I
could
have
be.
to go.
I'm saying these could be championship clinching games because they don't have a playoff.
Once in a lifetime experience.
I have to go.
You do. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that's probably why it's so expensive. If you were there in February, there's a lot less on the line. Yes. That's part of the reason probably it's so dang expensive.
So maybe I'll take some money out of my savings or something.
Yeah. RB Pirate says HTC GoFundMe for Peyton. Let's do it. We'll make it happen. Yeah, it's gonna be an awesome trip. The real question people want to know though is, are you gonna be watching ECU baseball and the Hoist the Colors radio show while you're in Madrid?
Well, I'm not going off the grid.
Okay.
I think that's one thing that I have to remember too is I'm still going to be in a fully functioning city. If I need to get a toothbrush, I can get a toothbrush, and I think that's
clearly what her biggest fear is.
Not having a toothbrush.
Well, I just think that's such a
bad
misconception that people are like, oh gosh, I have to pack all of this stuff. But
Right.
there are still. It's not like I'm going off the grid. I'm not going camping in the middle of the woods, and so I'll still have my phone. I'll still be attentive and commenting. Maybe. And go find a cool spot and have them turn on some Pirate baseball.
There you go. Pirate baseball in Madrid. Peyton Brady will be locked in. Maybe if they're in a regional, it won't happen until June. So you might be back by then.
Be back. Might have to fight the time change a little bit with those, but
we'll figure it out.
Maybe I can pull an all-nighter one night and catch some Pirate baseball.
Let's do it. We'll have fun, and we're proud of you as always. You're the most well put together, organized intern we've had.
Thank you. I appreciate
it's really
that.
no comparison.
More than you know.
Yep. So appreciate you, and we'll get you back on more full time in the fall when your schedule settles down a little bit. So looking forward to that. All right, she's Peyton Brady, HTC intern. We got to get a break in. We'll come back. Welcome on intern Isaiah from 94.3 The Game. He knows ball as well. In fact, he knows so much ball. People want him to get his own Dallas Cowboys show. We may not talk much Cowboys, but we will talk some NBA. Hit on some other playoffs as well going on. More Hoist the Colors on the way after this.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
In Eastern North Carolina, people appreciate things that are straightforward, honest, and dependable. For decades, our team has focused on cutting through insurance complexity for the communities we serve. And now, we're bringing that same mindset to our name. We're Flatlands Insurance Group, a simpler name that reflects the same local team, the same values, and the same commitment to the great communities we feel blessed to be a part of. Flatlands Insurance Group, your whole world is covered.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Inner Banks Media presents the return of Concert on the Common.
This year, we're live from the tailgate lot at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium.
Coming up May 21st, Trial by Fire, a tribute to Journey.
Join us Thursday, May 21st for Trial by Fire at the new Tailgate Plaza next to Town Bank Tower at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium.
Details at concertonthecommon.org.
Climb aboard as we set sail and hoist the colors. Back to the show with Steve and Igo on 94.3 The Game.
Bree here, hoist the colors, hanging out, going to a big weekend again. You can hear ECU-Memphis tonight, 7 o'clock, 94.3 The Game. Dylan Johnson on the call, and he does great work, second year calling the action. And check him out tonight if you can't catch the game on ESPN+. All right, we just finished up with Peyton Brady. We're now going to welcome in intern Isaiah as well, who knows a ton of ball. Isaiah, welcome back in, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm not so good, man. I'm not so good. My team just lost the Denver Nuggets. Their season came to an end. I will say I accepted this after the Game 4 loss. I had hope because the Timberwolves were so banged up that Denver would win, but realistically, they probably weren't going to get past San Antonio. If they did, they definitely were not going to get past the Thunder.
No.
So maybe this will lead to positive changes. We'll talk NBA here. And I'm just disappointed, man. The Nuggets have one of the best players in the world in Nikola Jokic. They obviously won a championship in 2023, but have since gone second-round exit to the Timberwolves, which kind of started all this. Second-round exit to the Thunder, which was a respectable exit, at least last year, and now a first-round exit to the Timberwolves. So they're clearly trending in the wrong direction. And this time against a banged-up Timberwolves team. So, look, the Nuggets have problems. I'll get your perspective first. As a non-Nuggets fan, Like when you look at the Nuggets, what do you think? What do you think are the biggest problems?
Well, to me, it just seems like they just don't have a key defender. You know, most teams, you have a guy that can go guard, you know, your best guard, one of your top centers, you know, you have somebody that can go out and do that. And it just seems that for the Nuggets, they don't have that. You know, the guy in Aaron Gordon is supposed to be that guy, but he's always hurt.
Always hurt.
And maybe he might have to get traded, but we're not going to talk about that right now. I just believe that there's so many weaknesses on the defense that is to the point where y'all are just trying to outscore teams.
Yes.
And with a team like the Timberwolves, where they have defenders, they have great defenders, and they have people that can step up, I didn't believe Jaden McDaniels could step up and play the way he did yesterday. But we've seen that before in other playoffs. Julius Randle somehow, some way, finds himself again, scores 18 points. Jaden McDaniels had 32 and 10. Like, they all came to play. There's really nothing.
Shannon was electric out of nowhere.
Oh, my God. 24.
Yeah. I mean, that's what killed us, man. Bro. And that's the thing, though. Like, whoever Jamal Murray was guarding, they
went right at him.
So here's my thing. Obviously, I love Jamal Murray.
Mm-hmm.
He brought a championship to Denver, and I love Nikola Jokic. It's hard, though, when your two best players, who are great offensive players, can't play defense.
Yeah.
Jokic does not – there are times he'll actually, like, challenge at the rim and be pretty good, but he's so concerned about foul trouble. Half the time he won't even challenge. And when Aaron Gordon is out, there's zero rim presence. Zero. And obviously, if you're not good on the perimeter and you have zero rim presence, you're going to be terrible defensively. So, look, I love Jamal Murray. I think the Nuggets should trade Jamal Murray, get more athletic and defensive on the perimeter, stick with Nikola Jokic, and try to build a more – because to me, they're just not athletic enough. Aaron Gordon solved some of that issue. That's why they won the championship. Peyton Watson, if he comes back, he solves some of that issue. Mm-hmm. But he's a free agent, and he's going to have an expensive market. So, like, they're kind of in a – if they were in a better cap position, I would say retain Murray and make it work. But I think they're going to have to move off of one of these big guys. Maybe it is Aaron Gordon. But, like, to me, I just think they need to reinvent themselves. They kind of, like, Jokic 1.0, the era, they won a championship.
Right.
Now they're trending down. I feel like they got to figure out a way to remake this team. Unfortunately, nobody's going to trade for Christian Brown because it's probably the worst contract I've ever seen handed out. But I need some changes there. Is that too far, trading Jamal Murray?
I think it is kind of too far because you got to also think about it. You know, they gave up Michael Porter Jr. because he wasn't a defender.
Yep.
So a guy that came in Cam Johnson, who's known to be a 3-and-D, who's been a great 3-and-D in Brooklyn, comes to the Nuggets and he just disappears from 6'6" to 5'11". And I just don't understand it.
Maybe it's the Nuggets culture, man. Maybe they're just not tough enough. Like, the Timberwolves were that tough. I got to give them credit.
I'm glad you said that. David Alderman, or however you say his
David
last,
Adelman,
yeah. He has to go. And I know this is his first time coaching full-time. I understand that after them getting rid of Mike Malone. If you watch from 2023, yes, last year they did lose in the second round. The year before they did lose in the second round. Mike Malone had them boys out there ready to play. They were going to play hard. They were going to play tough. And you're going to be out there, and it's not just a ISO ball game. You know what I mean? And we're going to swing the ball, and everybody's going to be able to touch the ball. I don't believe that it's the same way. And there's no fire from the coach. Last year, I had to see Nikola Jokic during a timeout sit during the OKC, and draw up plays and tell everybody what they're doing. That's not acceptable for a player. This isn't Bill Russell. This isn't the 60s where a player coach. No, this is 2026. We need a coach that can go out there and be dominant. And if you ask me, I hate to say it, sorry UNC fans, but he reminds me a lot of Hubert Davis. And that's not going to, obviously what we've seen, that's not going to help. So it's just they have to get better offensively, defensively, and they have to build a team that's going to help Nikola Jokic, not just, you feel me?
Jokic is 31. He's probably got at least a few more years left in this prime championship window. So, like, to me, it's kind of now or never. The thing that ticked me off about the Nuggets was, I was, I love Malone, but I was glad when they made the move because it felt like they needed a reset. But then they just hired a guy who was a brand new coach who wasn't a real fiery coach. And now it's like you need a leader of men. And Adelman's more of an X's and O's guy, so I agree. I would like to see a change there. I don't know if it's going to happen. Philip, your take on the Nuggets? You're a pseudo Denver fan, so What do you make of all this? Am I crazy? Jamal Murray traded? Is that too far? I feel like something's got to happen, man.
You were last in the league in defense.
Yeah.
Last in the league in points per game allowed. Something has to happen. The tough thing is right now, Steven, I think in a perfect world, Jamal Murray's still on the roster. In a perfect world, Nikola Jokic is on the roster. I get what Isaiah's saying, like, you've got great defenders who are great offensive players, but they don't have to be the same guy, right? And there are plenty of teams that have lockdown defenders paired with great offensive weapons. The tough thing, though, Steven, can you get those guys with his cap hit and with Jokic's cap hit and with Christian Brown's cap hit? No. So maybe trading Murray is what is going to be best. It's going to be addition by subtraction just because you've got to go out there and find somebody. The tough thing is the Christian Brown contract. If that doesn't happen, we're not having this conversation about Jamal Murray right now, but we're having to have it because you guys gave some dude who had 1 year, decent year at Kansas, the bag. So
now he's scared to shoot a layup.
Yeah. So I think, man, you might have to trade Jamal and have 1 to 2 years of growing pains and try and kind of win at the end of Jokic's window. And that's how a lot of teams have done it in the past who've won championships, been down a couple of years and came back and kind of won at the end of windows.
You know, I like the trade. Both of y'all are thinking the trade. I don't think you should trade him, but I've been hearing this, you know, touch and go. I believe personally John Morant should go to Orlando.
Yeah.
But how would you feel if John Morant came to the city of Denver? You know he's going to play defense. The only thing wrong with him is that he has to put the guns down.
Yeah, can he clean it up off the court? That's the biggest issue. To me, like, then you'd have to have the right head coach to keep him in line. Okay, and Adelman is not that guy.
No. Oh, God.
I would take the trade if I knew I was getting the right head coach.
Okay.
And I think with a legitimate chance to win a championship with Jokic, he would maybe lock in a little more.
I think so, too.
And get away from the guns. All right, other NBA action last night. All right, so what happened? Before we get to the Celtics, we'll save that for the last segment. What happened in Knicks-Hawks? I mean, I turned on the game. It was 40-15 after the first quarter. I look at the second quarter. It was like 83-30. Like, what was going on? This is an elimination game for the Hawks, by the way.
This is just typical Hawks. You know, you think typical Atlanta teams. Let me not just say the Hawks. Typical Atlanta teams. You know, all the Falcons, the Braves. The Hawks now, they always give Atlanta just a sense of hope, and they always let them down year in and year out, except the Braves. The Braves, they did win. The year after, Acuna tears his ACL. But back to the Hawks, they just didn't come to play. They keep calling Jalen Johnson Baby Bron. He's not Baby Bron. I don't know where that nickname came from. You're relying on an old C.J. McCollum. You're relying on a Nall. I don't know if y'all know who Nall is, but Nickeil Alexander Walker. You're betting on him. You're betting on a team or players that aren't stars. You gave up your star to go to the Wizards, and y'all became better and did good during the regular season, became the 5th seed. But we all agreed that the East was weak this year. The East was
very weak.
Yeah. We have the 8th seed taking on the number 1 seed in the Pistons, and they're down. I mean, I don't know what else to say about them, but it's the East. The East is just weak. And I believe that, yes, the Hawks, they just didn't have the team. They didn't have the team to play, and they didn't have the coach. Kenny Atkinson, to me, he's a good coach, but he's not a great coach. And you can't, in a Game 7, it's not just up to the players, it's up to the coach as well. And you have to have your team prepared and ready to go. Or even a Game 6 to force a Game 7. This is just to force a Game 7. So the fact that you're at home, everybody's there, Boosie is there. He's supposed to be the comedian clown guy that they have out there. Is there, and y'all are out there. You give up 15 points in the first quarter? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, 40-15 first quarter, everybody's at fault.
I saw Mikal Bridges go on a 10-0 run by himself, and I said, good Lord, somebody has to get these guys off the court. Because Mikal Bridges come down 2 threes, a layup, and another layup. I said, yo.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Call it.
You know how Jalen Johnson's bad?
Yeah.
When he was on Duke, they didn't make the NCAA tournament. He was the main player. He was supposed to be the guy. And the only time since 1995 they didn't make the NCAA tournament was Jalen Johnson's fault. That's how you know he ain't Baby Bron.
Yeah.
Get out of here with that.
That is a joke. So, yeah, Hawks eliminated. They did finish with 89, but they gave up 140. So that was a lot of points. All right, we got to get a break in. We'll get Phillips' rant potentially on the Boston Celtics needing a 7th game to try to close out the 76ers. More on that after this.
Get ready to bring on the savings at Greenville Toyota with major deals on brand new Toyotas like a Camry, $229 a month, or RAV4, $279 a month. Now's your turn to save at Greenville Toyota.
In Eastern North Carolina, hard work matters, and it always has. At Flatlands Insurance Group, we've been showing up for our neighbors since 1963, helping families and business owners navigate change, weather tough seasons, and keep moving forward. Decades later, our purpose hasn't changed: to help protect what you've poured your time and energy to, from your home to your health to whatever comes next. Flatlands Insurance Group, your whole world covered.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color and let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
At National Finance, we're all about hometown support, just like ECU football. National Finance helps us win on and off the field. They've got your back when you need it most. Fast, easy personal loans for life's big plays. And just like us, they're committed to Eastern North Carolina. National Finance, proud supporters of ECU Athletics. Visit nfcmoney.com for loans as fast as today.
Your future is full of possibilities, and Pitt Community College can help you explore every option. You can earn a degree, learn a trade, transfer to a university, or launch a new career. We offer the support you need to succeed with flexible schedules, affordable tuition, and programs designed for the real world. Your path, your future, your college. Pitt Community College. Register now.
Bring on the savings with new Toyotas from $159 a month at Greenville Toyota. Get huge discounts like Corollas $159 a month or Tacomas $249 a month. Save today at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Visit Larry's Steakhouse for a tender, hand-cut certified Angus ribeye. Other entrees include perfectly seasoned pork chops, chicken or seafood favorites like shrimp, tuna, and salmon. Complement your meal with Larry's fresh 20-plus item salad bar, or enjoy it as an all-you-can-eat entree. Daily rotating favorites include meatloaf, chicken pastry, hamburger steak, spaghetti, pork chops, and more, all complemented with your favorite country sides. Whether it's for lunch, dinner, or our Sunday brunch, remember to support and eat local. Larry's Steakhouse.
The Pirates play here. Arr! This is Hoist the Colors Radio with Stephen Igo.
Yes! That was so good!
On 94.3, The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Final few minutes of the show. Talking some NBA. We got intern Isaiah hanging out, Philip Pilkington as well. All right, I got my mini rant out about the Nuggets where I'm disappointed. Philip sounded just ticked off when I talked to him this morning about the Celtics and Nuggets losing. So your Celtics kind of ran off the floor in Philly, 106-93. That series 3-3. Game 7, are you nervous?
Yeah, because they don't look like they want to be there. When they don't score more than 30 points in the first quarter just because a couple shots don't fall, they panic and quit running sets to get guys open and just cross half court and jack up threes like they're freaking Caitlin Clark. The difference is Caitlin Clark can just jack up a random three and make it. And when Sam Hauser is cold, he doesn't need to be in the game. He is a streaky shooter, and that's all he is. For some reason, Joe Mazzulla doesn't want to play the young guys. The young guys who have been getting minutes and playing good minutes all year long. I understand young guys struggle in the playoffs, whatever. Dude, you've got a veteran roster around these young guys. Yeah, you don't want to put 5 rookies on the floor, but Harper needs to be playing more. Shireman, needs to be playing more. Like, if the good guys are cold, play the backups. That's how it's worked for 82 games, and you got to be a 2 seed doing that because the roster's so deep. And now the rotation's slimmed down because it's the playoffs, and the top guys aren't playing well. They're not only not playing well, they're not playing with heart. They're not playing with grit. It's one thing when you're just bad. People have bad nights. It's okay to be bad. It's not okay to not give a crap. And they act like they don't give a crap. They act like Philadelphia is going to roll over and give them the game because they got a little leprechaun on their shirt and they've got 18 titles and everybody's just going to be scared of them. No, they're coming to play. It's Philly, baby. That's a blue-collar city. They're tough. They ain't giving you a dang thing, and Boston thinks that they're owed something.
You know, your feelings are very similar to mine of the Nuggets. I feel like both our teams have won championships recently, and they don't have that heart and fire in it. Like, just watching it against blue-collar teams like Minnesota and Philly. All right, we got about a minute left, Isaiah. Your Lakers, Game 6 tonight. Don't tell me they're going to be the first team in NBA history to blow a 3-0 series lead.
Hey, I ain't going for that. We're going to win tonight. The last team that talked down on Bron was the Memphis Grizzlies in 2023. We swept them. Bron dropped 40 on them, and we won by 40. So I expect a big game out of LeBron. But before we leave, I know I have 30 seconds. Yeah. I just want to say this about the Boston or the 76ers. Like he said, the 76ers are tough. They're not going for none of that. VJ Edgecombe was living in the Bahamas shooting out of a milk crate, also living off of a generator. These boys are going to come to play. We talk a whole bunch about Jason Tatum, about how he came back after Achilles. My man, Joel Embiid, is playing without an appendix. So everybody talking that tough talk, he's out here really doing it. Also want to mention Jason Tatum was -11, Jaylen Brown -24.
-24?
Yeah.
Jeez, bro. All right.
Stinking it up.
Isaiah, good stuff, man. We'll get you back on to talk some more NBA. Are you heading out? You're heading out, right?
No. I'll be back on Monday.
Okay. We'll get you on Monday maybe to talk some hoops, see the fallout of Game 7 and this Laker-Rocket series. All right, we got to get out of here. Appreciate Isaiah. Appreciate Peyton Brady. Appreciate Phillip. We'll see you guys Monday to talk ECU-Memphis, recap that, and more on Hoist the Colors.